Hi everyone, it's James here from Pro Tools Expert, and it gives me great pleasure to be one of the first to review the new Clarett 8 Pre from Focusrite. It's a single U, lovely red, I think that's called an anodized bezel, sounds all technical to me. 8 mic pre's, as the 8 Pre suggests, and it's a Thunderbolt interface. So Thunderbolt is the way things are going, there's no two ways about that now. And this baby has got some serious power. More to the point, it puts that power down in a seriously low latency manner, meaning you can track with plugins without the use of external or internal extra DSP boxes. So let's have a quick look up close and personal along the front. So starting over here, far left, we've got our first two mic pre's. Now, if I pull the XLR out of there, you can see it's one of those trendy Neutrik combi jacks. So our first two inputs are also our instrument DIs as well, which is really, really nice. 6 more mic pre XLR, normal XLRs on the back. We then have our two controls for phantom power, so we can split 1 to 4 or channels 5 to 8 for the phantom. Panning over a little bit, you can see we have our 8 gain pots. And these have got a really nice feel to them, a nice heavy kind of knurled pot. So under each of the gain pots, we have an LED for the first two, indicating that the instrument channel is being used rather than the mic pre. And then we have these little yellowy orangey LEDs called air. Now air is an extra circuit in the mic pre, giving the it's a little bit more top end, a little bit more, let's face it, a bit more air. It just sounds really nice. I'm using it in this particular recording that we're about to do for the hi-hat channel and the two overheads. It's just lifting the top end, giving a bit more brightness, a bit more the real top end, which has become known as air, I suppose. Coming over to the right-hand side, you can see we have the LED indicating that we have Thunderbolt connected. We have our lock symbol indicating that we are clocked together with something of a similar clock. We then have our master section, you'll see that when I start drumming in a minute. Pot for the main monitor control with dim and mute. And then we have two separately configurable headphone pre's on stereo 1/4" jacks, which are really, really nice. Again, same kind of lovely heavy knurled feel to the knobs. Really quality components going into this baby, you can tell. Just by the feel of it, just by the weight of it. It's got a really kind of, dare I say it, sexy vibe to it. Main power switch, and then obviously round the back, we'll have a look at what we've got connected. I think because of how I've got this configured for the studio and for this current demo recording, I'll show you the back panel on one of the illustrations supplied by Focusrite. But you can see here how I've got everything connected. I've got my other 5 mic pre's, my stereo outs, my Thunderbolt cable. But let's have a look actually at the graphic so you can see exactly what's going on around the back. So first of all, round the back, you can see mic pre and line in inputs 3 through 8, all on combi jacks again, but you don't get the instrument DI section that you get on channels 1 and 2 round the front. We then have 10 separate outputs, 10 line outs on 1/4" jack, word clock connection, our Thunderbolt connection, in and out via ADAT optical, MIDI and SPDIF I/O, giving us a pretty spectacular 18 in and 20 out over one Thunderbolt cable. So for this review, what we're going to do is record some drums to start with. Hey, it's tradition. And we'll use 7 of the 8 mic pre's built into the Clarett 8 Pre. Kick, snare, hat, 2 toms, left and right overheads. We've got to keep it fairly simple for now. The mic pre's on this thing, the tests I've done so far sound really, really nice. Hopefully you'll also get to hear that. But one of the cool things is the piece of control software that comes with this that allows you to configure the 2 headphone outputs separately to what's going to be going out of your main outputs for your main monitors. And you can configure these things pretty much any way you like. So let's go over now to my Mac laptop so you can see exactly what's going on. The reason I'm using the laptop, not the Mac Pro, is because it doesn't have Thunderbolt. So I'm going to use my Mac laptop, the MacBook Pro, hooked up to this thing, and then we'll get on and do some recording. But for now, let's just go over and see this software and see how I've got it configured. So I've got different sends going to my headphones as is going to you guys. So here we are in Pro Tools. I've got my 7 channel set up, kick, snare, hat, tom, rack tom, floor tom, overhead left and right. And this is the mix that you'll be hearing. So there's a good stereo pan on the overheads, a bit on the toms, but the mix that I'll be hearing is being set up by the Focusrite control app. So you can see down the left-hand side, I've got my outputs. And if I click on outputs 7 and 8, you can see I've got this kind of virtual mixer thing going on. So I've got lots of kick, lots of snare, a bit more hi-hat, toms, and overheads going on, and I've got my panning set up. Now, this is a kind of a really nice way of getting around any kind of problem with latency you may have. Personally, I'm finding that the latency on this thing is practically zero. Round trip latency is very, very good, but I'm using this mixer to show exactly how it can work. Now, back in looking at Pro Tools, you can see that my click track is only routing to outputs 3 and 4, not 1 and 2. Now, 1 and 2 is being routed off to the other Pro Tools system, which is recording the audio from this whole session. So it's recording the voiceover mic, it's recording the output from the Clarett 8 Pre. But it won't be recording anything that's coming out of channel 3 and 4. Channel 3 and 4 is being routed directly into my headphone mix on output 7 and 8. And I've got lots of that, and that's the click track. So you won't hear the click track. It's a really nice way of being able to control exactly how much is coming back into your headphone sends or your line outputs, because obviously a headphone send, in this case, has got the headphone mixer, the headphone preamp bit built in. If you've got some more headphone pre's, just attach those to your line outputs, and you can have as many, well, 6 extra mixes on your headphone outputs, which is really rather nice. If I want to add some more of those, all I have to do is click in this matrix here, and I can add or take away as many as I want, which is really rather neat. I like that a lot. So we're ready to lay down some drums. Let's go and do that. We're going to put a kind of rock track together. Nothing too complicated. We'll just keep it simple for now. And you can hear exactly how great the pre's in this thing sound. So, as I said before, the Clarett 8 Pre is connected to the Mac via Thunderbolt. Now, the nice thing about Thunderbolt is it gives us this really, really low latency. And some of the cleverness that those very clever boffins at Focusrite have done is been able to get the latency down to almost undetectable levels. Even on this machine, I'm running at 128 samples, which is still pretty low. But really, I've had absolutely no indication of any kind of latency or problems using either the mixer or using the direct outputs directly into the headphones. Now, one of the nice things it means I can do is as power of machines gets greater and greater, it means I'll be able to record with plugins instantiated as we go through, rather than having to use DSP boxes, things like that. And I've actually done that on this kick drum channel. So I'll play back as you heard it when I recorded, and then I'll bypass it so you can hear how the drum really sounded. Here we go. So this is with the plugin instantiated running out of bypass, if you like. Now bypassed. And back installed again. So I've done it here using just one plugin on the kick drum, but imagine tracking with your entire vocal channel strip set up. Imagine having your entire drum kits worth of EQ pre-done, so you're recording with the sound, with the tones that you actually like to hear when you've mixed. As machine power gets more and more over the coming years, there'll be less need for DSP boxes and external processors. And I think the guys at Focusrite have really looked to this and looked that this is coming. And all power to them, and hopefully then all power to us. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put channel 1 into instrument mode. So I'm more than happy level-wise. Let's put some bass down. So here we go. We've got the Les Paul going straight into the Chandler GAV 19T with an SM57 in front of it, pretty much pointing on axis, just off to the right of the right-hand side cone, just so we get technical there. So let's lay down some rocking guitar. So there you have it, the Focusrite Clarett 8 Pre. Things we like. We really like the preamps. These things sound absolutely amazing, especially the air setting for things with kind of high transients and a nice, clean, crisp top end, like cymbals and hi-hat. Sounded absolutely stunning. The kit sounded great through these. I didn't miss any of the rack of preamps that are sat back there. This thing sounded absolutely beautiful. The instrument DI sounds great for bass, for sort of like, it had a real nice gritty sound to it. Not gritty bad, but kind of gritty, aggressive, upfront and powerful. Headphone preamps nice and loud. It's so easy to use. It was a doddle to install. It sounds like I'm overselling this thing, doesn't it? But it really does work incredibly well. It's a great sounding box. But the killer feature, it's Thunderbolt. Therefore, the round trip latency is practically zero. I had no problems. At no point did I say to myself, do you know what? I need my HDX system back. It was absolutely rock solid. And when we're demoing these sort of things and we're testing them, it's all start, stop, plug in, unplug, change stuff. It's not a nice, simple session like you would do if you had this thing installed in a rack or something like that. We really do put these things through the ringer. So, well done to Focusrite. This thing deserves to do incredibly well. Didn't bother attaching any digital I/O to it because, quite frankly, I haven't got anything Focusrite. And the preamps in this are so good. What they now need to do is to do a Clarett Pre, just an ADA optical device that goes with this with the same preamps. Then you've got a 16-channel or multiple-channel solution where this thing is just acting as the clock source, as the master, as the daddy. Absolutely amazing piece of kit. It'll be one that I'll be sad to give back, if I'm totally honest. So I'm going to leave you with the track that we put together, just the guitar, bass and drums, no effects whatsoever, other than the kick drum extra avid channel strip that we put in to prove that it can be done. So for now, I've been James with the Clarett 8 Pre from Focusrite, and I'll see you again soon for some more gear talk.